Welcome to the SIFT podcast, your number one podcast for business, finance, and psychology, where great entrepreneurs come to learn and grow. Hey guys, and welcome to the SIFT podcast, and welcome to episode 37 on our podcast episode. And I promised guys I was going to review a book that I recently read. Now, thanks to Amazon Audible. Now, this is a life hack. I'm giving you guys some tips on ways you can save time, some tips on how you can, improve if your New Year's resolution, quote unquote, was on, you want to read a lot of books this year. You've set out that you're going to invest time in books, in personal development, personal growth. That Amazon Audible is one way to go about it if you're someone who has a problem of actually setting aside time and reading and cultivating knowledge in yourself. And this is one thing, and this is not an ad, by the way. This is something I'm giving you guys free of charge, and giving you guys some life tips on how to improve when it comes to your time, when it comes to achieving your goals, your personal goals, and achieving growth long term. Now, Amazon Audible, you can pretty much buy audiobooks and listen to them. It's similar to like the way you listen to a podcast, but now it becomes much more easier because now you can listen to your book, your audiobook, anytime, anywhere, and you can do that also while doing other things. Because when you're reading a book, you actually have to sit down and focus on reading and do only that at that same time, because your mind, your eyes, your everything is focused on reading and understanding. But now using an audiobook, you can multitask. You can listen to an audiobook while driving, while showering, while doing something else. I do that a lot when I'm commuting, when let's say I'm doing some numbers work where I don't need to concentrate a lot, where I have like a system in place in my mind so that I do things in a automatic kind of way, in an automated kind of way. So it's one thing. And I was reading on This is Marketing by Seth Godin. Now, I really love this book. Really gave me a good insights on marketing, a few tips here and there. And one of the things that I'm going to share with you guys is, now for those who have been into marketing, this book might not resonate quite well with you. I did go online and check some of the reviews after I've read the book. Pretty much counterintuitive on how consumers behave. I first of all bought the book and then read it, and then now after reading it, went and checked on the reviews to see what other people think about the book. And I was on Goodreads.com reading the reviews on the book, and most of the classic marketers, or the like traditional marketers per se, or to categorize them, 90% of marketers from the review that I was getting, from the reviews that I was reading, was that they didn't really like the book. They didn't enjoy reading the book, and it doesn't come to me as a surprise. It doesn't really come to me as a surprise, because marketing as an industry operates in a very gray area where a lot of people do not know exactly what they're doing, and a lot of business owners, or those who are looking for help, searching for help in terms of marketing, don't really understand what exactly they're looking for when it comes to numbers and the relevance of these numbers and figures to them. Because marketers will come up with the form of let us do your search engine optimization. Let's help you guys get a lot of clicks, a lot of click-through rates, a lot of followers, a lot of likes on your Facebook page, help you rank higher on the search engine, pretty much do your search engine optimization, and all of this. And Seth Godin goes to talk about, as much as important that, these figures are, as much as it is important to work on, the kind of, your search engine optimization, you ranking higher on search engine. But then again, it doesn't, what value does it bring to the whole business? What value does it bring? Because when I talk about marketing involves a lot of things, a lot of aspects. And for a lot of people, marketing is pretty much promotion, but sad to say, marketing involves a lot of things. We have the 4 P's in marketing, which is product, price, placement, and then the promotion that everyone thinks marketing is about. So we have to work on the promotion, we have to work on the product, we have to work on the price, and we have to work on the placement. Now, the bread and butter when it comes to marketing, like uh, the overall scheme when it comes to marketing is branding. And that's one of the things that a lot of marketers don't really work on, don't really focus on. They focus on getting the numbers that will entice, will excite these business owners or these organizations and businesses, so that they get paid at the end of the day. The business owners are happy at the end of the day. But then again, what value is it bringing to your business? Because you can see that when you go on Facebook, for example, a lot of a lot of businesses and organizations have their Facebook pages with a lot of followers, with a lot of likes on their page. But does it actually resonate? Does it actually show the kind of bring value to the business or the organization? Now, that's one question that most business owners, most entrepreneurs or organizations need to ask themselves. What impact does it have for us that a lot of people are liking or following our page? And now, how do we use that? How do we use the kind of following, the kind of community we have on our Facebook page to lead to more awareness when it comes to our organization and business, and also more sales, and provide something of value and quality to our clients, to our consumers? And that's one of the things Seth Godin focuses on, because a marketer will approach a business and talk to them about we'll help you do your digital marketing, we'll help you get a lot of likes, a lot of followers, we'll do some Facebook ads, Google ads, and all that. We'll do your SEO, pretty much have you rank higher on each and every search engine available out there. But then the question comes is, yeah, but what does it bring? What does it bring? Because when you're really much focused on the short-term success of marketing, then doing what the majority of marketers do will work really well for you. When you're only focused on the short-term sale, when you're only focused on the short-term delivery, but when your main focus is on the long-term, the longevity of your business and organization, and the kind of awareness and the kind of reputation that you set in place, then we're looking at marketing from a very, very different perspective. We're not looking at really the numbers. We're looking at, what does the business have to offer that is of value? How can this business or organization provide value to those who were not primarily interested in what you had to offer? And quote unquote, Gary Vaynerchuk talks about this a lot when you follow his content, when you follow him on social media and read his content and all that. He talks, like in his book, Jab, 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 Right Hook. He talks a lot about giving value up front and not looking to close in on a sale, just giving value, not expecting anything in return, and then once in a while, hook the bait. Ask now. Once in a while, after you've given a lot of content, ask now for what you want. And for some people it sounds like, nah, I'm probably a dumb idea, because now I'm giving out a lot of content that I will have a lot of value, and content that I will have sold on, that I will have leveraged my sale on. But you're primarily focused on a very short-term marketing strategy that only works for the short term, pretty much like 3 months or 1 year or 2 years. But now if you're focusing on the long term, and you or your business or organization having an edge on the market, the overall thing that Seth Godin talks about is, bringing value up front, and also, creating this form of community or tribes of your consumers, and having them engage, improving the overall consumer experience. And it goes beyond, doing your search engine optimization. I talked about this in the previous podcast episode 36. that you might have the best marketing marketing strategy in place. You might you might do your search engine optimization really well, and you rank top in your category, in your industry, when it comes to Google search or you know search engine. You might be the best, but if the consumer experience is pathetic, if you're getting really negative reviews on your brand, on your business, on your organization, then it then detrimentally affects the level of conversion that you get on your business, on your product, on your services. And so one of the things, a lot of small and medium-sized enterprises, don't really focus on. A lot of them focus on the short term. Look at, for example, look at big brands, look at Adidas, look at Nike, look at Apple. Apple focuses on the whole consumer experience, and they've been able to, be successful over time. And you listen to a lot of people saying that, Apple sells the same kind of iPhone year in, year out, which might be true, just in a different design and one or two, three maybe specs improved. But they focus primarily on the consumer experience. Now, anyone who is interested in buying an Apple product, is interested in, the prestige that comes with it. That's one thing that Apple looked at, the prestige behind having this sleek iPhone or having this sleek MacBook. And at the same time, Apple created their products in a way that you could be able to do certain things. For example, when it comes to content creation, iPhone and MacBooks are really good when it comes to content creation. And a lot of, content writers, a lot of content creators, when it comes to, doing video, audio, written, and all that, focus on using Apple products. And, they came up with, now to tie you really well to their products, they came up with, you can have your MacBook connected to your iPhone, connected to your Apple Watch, and pretty much, sync data among these devices. And they clearly understood what the consumer wants. And for a lot of small, medium enterprises, don't really understand what the consumer wants. They focus more on the sale. We want to sell more, but don't really focus on the brand. Because, growing a brand, if you look into a lot of the brands that have really hit the market and have really stood the test of time, it takes a lot of work, and it takes on sacrificing short-term gains for long-term relevance, long-term good reputation. And that's pretty much what Seth Godin talks about, and that's one of the reasons it doesn't quite resonate well with a lot of marketers. Because with a lot of marketers, it's about getting the numbers, promising business. We'll get you the numbers, we'll make you rank high, and yes, that's good, that's perfect, but it's short term. Because listen, however good your website ranks on Google, and I come and I'm searching for a certain product, and I see your website as number one, yes, there's a high possibility I'll click through your website. But then if I see your reviews, because remember, we're in modern day marketing, where communication between businesses, between enterprises, organization, and their consumers is pretty much, cross-lateral. It's pretty much, you get information from them, and you're able to receive information about them, and also give information about them as well. In comparison to the traditional marketing that we had, whereby we will only be exposed to certain ads on television or radio, or banners and billboards, and it was pretty much unidirectional from the brands, organization, enterprises to us, but rarely did we have a chance to give them our feedback or read feedbacks about them. apart from reading from a newspaper or a business journal, business magazine, and that is pretty much it. And maybe from bad mouth propaganda that we come to find out that this business does a shady job, or their services is really shady, or their client relation is really messed up. But if you think of it nowadays with reviews, because you have reviews everywhere, you might have a review section on your website. But what most businesses do, they will highlight the best reviews that they got, and pretty much hide the bad reviews that they get. But luckily, we have external review websites where you can get reviews on specific businesses from customers before purchasing something. And this just shows how consumer behavior has changed over time with the improvement in technology. So it's one thing to look at. So it doesn't really matter if you have a really good, for example, search engine optimization in place, and you're doing perfect search engine marketing, and you have the best marketer on board. It doesn't really matter. It doesn't really matter if your overall consumer experience sucks. If you're not good in client relation and building a brand and only focus on short-term sales, then you're missing out on the bigger piece of the cake. So it's a really insightful book when it comes to marketing. If you're really interested in marketing and getting a lot of information when it comes to marketing, because it debunks a few myths and a few misconceptions here and there when it comes to marketing, and exposes some of the things that marketing does and marketers do, and how a lot of marketers tend to lie to their clients and focus only on numbers that don't mean anything. And he focuses more on building your brand, and you know what a brand is. Yeah, your brand is not your logo. Your brand is the relationship you build with your consumer segment, your reputation. What do people say about you? What do people say about you when you're not there? That's your brand. You also your personal brand when you're not with your friends. What do they say about you? Now that's your brand. That's the kind of reputation you gave them. And brand can be interpreted differently by different people, because we are not all the same. We are very diverse in our own ways of thinking. We are all very diverse in what we like, what we dislike. But as a business, as a small, medium-sized enterprise, your main focus should be on the brand, creating awareness, improving the whole consumer experience. Because this is what gives you an edge in the market. Doesn't matter how small your business is. Finding your consumer segment and building a tribe behind that. Because if you think about it, whatever you're doing, probably there are a lot of people doing the same. So how do you get hard in a very noisy market? How do you get hard in a very noisy market? And it's by being different and giving value, focusing on the consumer, leaving money on the table in the short term and focusing on the long term. So it's a really good book, guys. Make sure to check that out if you're really interested. And like I said, Amazon Audible is really great when it comes to cultivating the book culture in you and reading a lot of books. I think this year I might end up reading maybe 4 times the number of books I read per year, because it becomes quite easy. This is Marketing by Seth Godin. I think I only took like 2 days to read the whole book, to listen to the whole audiobook. So yeah, that's one tip I'll give you guys. Guys, if you have any question, make sure to reach out. Augustine at swiftgroup.net. And also subscribe to our newsletter, www.swiftgroup.net. Head on there, subscribe. We're doing a weekly marketing series, sharing information and value with our subscribers. So it's one thing to look into, and also being part of our Swift community, where you get to learn and get value from the community and all that, and grow with us in terms of business, finance, and psychology. So that's one thing to look into. And then again, see you guys on the next podcast episode. Remember, guys, it's always process over outcome. See you guys. Make sure to like and subscribe to our podcast and also share it on your social platforms. Remember, guys, it's process over outcome.